Hello students, welcome to all of you Shiksha 360, and today we will discuss the retail banking topic which we have already started from our previous two sessions, basically product development process. And today we will discuss the third part. Basically this is the last part, and I think after that only one topic will be left after for discussion. Clear? So let's start our topic, product development process, basically KYC. Clear? In the last session we have discussing regarding the KYC. Clear? So KYC, clear? Basically what is KYC? KYC is basically stands for know your customer. Clear? KYC basically stands for know your customer. Clear? Here basically we have to know regarding our customer as per the laws. Clear? Basically for KYC, basically KYC guidelines. Basically there are two laws for this. First one is PMLA Act 2002. That is prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. And next one is there is one more, prevention of money laundering rules. Similar to that, prevention of money laundering. That is basically maintenance of records. Clear? Basically up to how much time we have to maintain a record. Clear? That is basically maintenance of records. That is rules 2005. Clear? That are basically rules of 2005. Clear? Basically these two we have to follow. Clear? Under the KYC. Clear? Next one is basically what are the four key elements? Very, very important. Basically in JIB also this question asked many times, and in CIB also. Clear? This is very, very important question. Basically what are the four key elements? Four key elements in KYC. Clear? We are discussing only those points which are important for that. Basically first one is CAP, second one is RM, third one is CIP, and fourth one is monitoring of transactions. Clear? Monitoring of transactions. Clear? CAP basically customer acceptance policy. Clear? CAP stands for customer acceptance policy. RM basically stands for risk management. Clear? RM basically stands for risk management. And CIP basically stands for customer identification procedure. Clear? Customer identification procedure, CIP. Clear? This basically these are the four key elements as per the KYC. Clear? This will basically the four key guidelines, or we can say that four key elements. Clear? Next one is when any branch open any new account. Clear? When any branch open any new account, they have to do first one is CDD. Clear? Very, very important is CDD. CDD stands for customer due diligence. Clear? Customer due diligence. The meaning of that, what is the meaning of that? That is basically we have to identify all properly. Clear? The meaning of that is we have to identify the customer or verify the customer properly and verify all the documents. Clear? And we do not find any ambitious or fictitious thing in that. Clear? This is basically CDD. Clear? And after that, basically we have to take the proofs. We have to take the proofs. First one, in which identity and address is mentioned. Clear? Identity and address is mentioned. Clear? Like sometimes we are opening a joint account. Clear? Sometimes we are opening the joint accounts. So in the case of joint accounts, clear? In the case of joint accounts, CDD of both holders, both account holders is must. Clear? In the case of joint account, CDD of both account holders is a necessary. Clear? So these are the some of the points which is must while opening the account for KYC purpose. Clear? And basically this is basically we can say that for customer acceptance policy. Clear? This is basically comes under the customer acceptance policy or customer identification procedure. Now basically what we have to cover under the risk management. What we have to cover under the risk management. I think many of you are aware that basically last year also RBI releases a circular. Clear? RBI issued a circular on the risk management. Clear? Basically according to that, clear, what is the meaning of that circular, or according to that circular we have to categorize. Clear? Earlier we already categorized the customers, but according to that also basically we have to categorize the customers basically in 3 risk categories. Clear? In 3 risk categories. Basically in 3 risk categories. First one is low risk. Second one is medium risk, low risk, medium risk, and third one is high risk. Clear? Low risk, medium risk, and high risk. Clear? Basically how we categorize. Clear? How we categorize the persons basically on these categories, basically on the basis of customer identity. Clear? On the basis of customer identity, or it's a social financial status. Clear? Or it's a social financial status. Clear? Basically we have to keep remember all these things on the basis of customer identity, or it's social financial status, nature of business activity, and next one is location. Clear? We have to check all these things, and according to that we have basically these 3 risk categories. Clear? And basically on the basis of these 3 categories we have to take the KYC proofs of the person again after specific time. Clear? Like for high risk we have to take KYC after every 2 years. For medium risk we have to take KYC after every 8 years, and for the low risk we have to take KYC after every 10 years. Clear? Basically we have to take KYC as per the risk category. Clear? Now next point, very important, is basically what are the treated as OVD. Clear? Which documents are treated as OVD? OVD basically stands for officially valid documents. Clear? Now we have to check which documents are to be treated as officially valid documents. Clear? Now we have to check that which documents are to be treated as officially valid documents. Clear? So let's discuss. You have to remember also all these documents because they will ask many times question from this also. Clear? First one is passport. Second one is driving license. Third one is PAN card. Or fourth one is voter card. Fifth one is job card issued by NREGA. Clear? But these are basically not used in presently times. Basically presently everyone has PAN card or driving license or voter card, or we can say that UID or Aadhaar card. Clear? Basically these are the main 6 officially valid documents. If anyone use the job card issued by the NREGA, then they have to be signed by an officer of the state government. Clear? Signed by the officer of the state government. Clear? And one more thing, if the address is not matched, if the address, like the address on the OVD, like address is present on the passport also, on the driving license also, on the UID also. Clear? And on the voter card also. Clear? If the address is not matched or not same with the present address, clear, then they have to give the proof. Basically what is the present, and then they have to give basically the present address, and they have to change their, and they have to change their proofs, and they have to change their proofs within the 6 month period. Clear? Within the 6 month period. Clear? They have to change their proofs. Clear? Or basically change their proofs basically means here they have to update their proofs. Clear? They have to update their proofs within 6 months. Clear? They have to update their proofs within 6 months. Clear? Within 6 months. And within 6 months from the opening of the account. Clear? Within 6 months from the opening of the account. Yes. As basically all these passport, driving license, PAN, voter card, job issued card by NREGA and UID. All are considered to be OVD. Clear? All are considered to be OVD. Clear? All are considered to be OVD. Basically, there are 6 OVDs, so they are all considered to be OVD. Clear? And if there is any address update, then they have to fresh proof of address within the 6 months. Clear? Within the 6 months. Clear? Now you have to also verify. Clear? For identification also, you can do eKYC. Clear? You can do eKYC. Clear? This is also very, very important. You can do eKYC from the website of the UID. Clear? And next one is PAN card. PAN card is mandatory for transaction above rupees 50,000. Clear? For transaction above rupees 50,000 or up to rupees 50,000, PAN card is a mandatory. Clear? If the person is not having PAN card, clear, then they have to fill the form 60 for that specific transaction. Clear? Then they have to fill the form 60 for that specific transaction. Basically, they have to declare regarding the transaction. Clear? Basically, it means that they have to declare regarding the transaction. Basically, what I'm to saying that basically from where they will get this income. Clear? This amount. Clear? And why he do not have PAN card. Clear? If he answer regular this much income, why he do not have PAN card. Clear? So they have to verify that also. Clear? Next one is if a minor, if anyone deposits the amount in the minor's account. Clear? In the minor account. So in the case of minor, basically we have to use the PAN card of parents. Clear? You have to use the PAN card of parents in the case of minor. Clear? In the case of minor, we have to use the PAN card of parents. Clear? This is some important points regarding the KYC. Clear? Next one is CDD and CKYCR. Clear? CKYCR. Clear? I think we have already covered CDD. Clear? Customer due diligence, and CKYCR is very, very important. Clear? So first of all, can anyone tell basically on which portal we will do CKYCR? Basically, CKYCR is basically authorized by, clear, Government of India, authorized CERSAI. I think all of you are aware regarding the CERSAI. Clear? Government of India authorized CERSAI is to act as and to perform the function of CKYCR. Clear? Basically, CKYCR, Central KYC Registry. Clear? And what is full form of CERSAI? Is basically stands for Central Registry. CERSAI stands for Central Registry of Securitization. Clear? Central Registry of Securitization Asset. Clear? Central Registry of Securitization Asset Reconstruction, and Security Interest of India. Clear? Central Registry of Securitization Asset Reconstruction and Security Interest of India. Clear? And Security Interest of India. Clear? Central Registry of Securitization Asset Reconstruction and Security Interest of India. Clear? Basically, this agency has been provided authority by the central government of India to perform the function of CKYCR. Clear? Basically, what we will do, basically, first of all, this agency will already issued the guidelines. Basically, already issued the guidelines what we have to follow in the CKYCR. Clear? Basically, guidelines prepared for the individual separately and for legal entities separately. Clear? For legal entities separately. And very, very important questions. Clear? When CKYCR started. Clear? When CKYCR started. Clear? Or basically from which date we have to do the CKYC of accounts. Clear? From basically which date. Clear? Presently, I think all of the banks will do the CKYC. Clear? On, I think on weekly or 15 days basis. Clear? And basically the CKYC is to be started for all accounts opened on or after 1st of January 2017. Clear? 1st of January 2017. And this CKYC process initially started in the public sector banks or scheduled commercial banks, and this process is little bit late started in the rural RRBs. Clear? regional rural banks. Clear? I think many of you are working in the regional rural banks also, and also in the scheduled commercial banks or private banks. Clear? You have to aware regarding that. Clear? Basically, the employees who have joined in the year 2015, 2016, they have already aware regarding all these things. Clear? Basically, they have to do the CKYCR of previously opened accounts within 1 month or within 2 months. Clear? And in the RRBs also, basically they are started basically, I think in the 2019. Clear? Basically CKYC process very much delayed, little bit delayed. Clear? In the RRBs. Clear? Now next one is we have to discuss some more important points. Basically, sir, why CKYCR? Basically through the help of this, like I think all of you are aware that basically from the CIBIL report also, we have to identify what loans taken by the customer. Clear? Basically all these conclude to the CKYCR. Clear? Basically we have to update the details of the customer on the portal of the central government. Clear? And if the person is taking any loan, all loans are linked to that automatically. Clear? Because when we have to upload the documents, because they automatically link with each other. Clear? And basically this is in terms of the provision of which act, basically, or which rules? In terms of the provision of prevention of money laundering rules. Clear? Prevention of money laundering rules 2005. Next one is KYC form. Clear? I think all of you are aware that if you have checked 10 to 15 years back, the account opening form is basically just half of page or 1 page. Clear? 15 to 20 years back, if we check, account opening form is half page or 1 page. Clear? Now basically account opening form of all banks, it includes at least 4 to 5 pages. Clear? Basically they have included all the KYC guidelines. Clear? Or customer information in that. Clear? Basically what they have included, like name, address. Clear? So you have to, why I'm asking, why I'm explaining all this things, because sometimes they will ask questions. Clear? Even when we are discussing questions in the Telegram group, many of students are not able to answer all the questions. Even they are giving the answers. Basically yesterday I also checked that out of the 20 students, only 3 students give the correct answer. Clear? That's why I'm discussing all points. Clear? So that, so name, address or PAN or TIN of the customer, details of the family, mother, father, spouse, type of account, which type of account they are to open, current, saving, term deposit or loan. Next one is age group. Also they will also, either you are working or not. Clear? Occupation or a student. Clear? Because on the basis of that your account will be open. Clear? Next one is telephone. Clear? Telephone number, your contact number, your annual income, your business. If you are opening for the current account, then your business, registration of your business. Clear? For NRA account, they have also take passport. Clear? And for if you are going to the, and in some cases, like they will ask also details of your foreign visit. Clear? Foreign visit. If any person continuously visit foreign, then they will also take details while offering any loan or any other facility to you. Clear? Basically these all things are to be taken. Clear? This is basically KYC form. Clear? Sometimes they will ask, and we have already covered. Basically for low risk customers, they will take KYC after 10 years. For medium risk, 8 years, and for high risk, basically KYC proofs are be taken after every 2 years. Clear? For the high risk customers. Clear? Now next one is credit and asset products. Clear? Next one is here credit and asset products. Clear? Basically credit and asset products we will classify into basically 2 parts. First one is traditional credit schemes. Clear? Credit or asset products we will classify into, first one is traditional credit schemes, and second one is basically market oriented new credit scheme. Clear? Market oriented new credit schemes. Clear? So first one is basically what are the traditional credit schemes? Like traditional credit schemes basically are like CC accounts, basically cash credit accounts, basically for the business people. Clear? Next one is overdraft facility for short time, OD facility basically for short time, or some other traditional credit schemes like demand loans, term loans. Clear? Demand loans, term loans, or bill finance. Here all are basically comes under the traditional credit schemes. Clear? All are basically comes under the traditional credit schemes, and basically demand loans and term loans. Clear? Demand loans and term loans have a fixed repayment period. Clear? Have a fixed repayment period or definite repayment period. Clear? Basically for the demand loans and the term loans have a fixed or definite repayment period. Clear? And basically we are market oriented new credit scheme. Clear? Basically what we have taken into that, like home loans, or next we have taken like auto loans, personal loans, and personal loans like specifically for professionals are also different category to attract the customers. Next one is for doctors or lawyers. Clear? Basically all these are comes under the professionals. Next one is credit card receivables. Clear? And or some other loan products. Clear? Or some other retail loans. Clear? All are comes under the new market oriented credit schemes. Clear? Like I think all of you are aware that during the COVID-19, clear, in the year 2020, Government of India launched many schemes. Clear? Launched many schemes, like I think one is GECL. Clear? To help the business persons, or clear, help the MSMEs to bear the losses. Clear? Basically this is an additional financial assistance. Clear? Additional financial assistance by the Government of India. Clear? Or also they have also revised the MSME limits. Clear? Also they have revised the MSME limits. Clear? So you have to aware regarding all these points. Clear? Because they will directly ask questions from these points. Clear? When we will discuss basically on Saturday, we will provide you the questions of that. So you are aware basically what type of question they are asking. Clear? Basically they will ask questions from these points also. Clear? But you have to remember, basically you have to answer the question by carefully study all the questions. Clear? This is basically the difference between the JIB and CIB. Clear? In CIB they will little bit tricky question or twisted question asked. Clear? Content is similar. Whatever we have discussed, they will ask questions basically from that type of content. Clear? Some like case studies they will ask for understanding basically, but you have to answer the question. Clear? They will ask twisted questions, and in JIB they will ask straightforward questions. Clear? So next one is other products and services. Very important. These products are basically generate also large amount of income. Clear? Generate large amount of income. So what are these basically products? I think many of you are also dealing in the basically offering different products like bank guarantee, letter of credit, LC, or next one is co-acceptance of bills. Clear? Bank guarantee, letter of credit, or co-acceptance of bills. Clear? All are basically considered under the other products and services. Clear? Basically like bank guarantee. Clear? Basically bank will take something like as a property or any other thing as a security and will guarantee on the behalf of the borrower. Clear? On the behalf of the borrower, that if borrower defaults, then bank will be liable to pay for that. Clear? If the borrower defaults, then the bank will be payable to that. Clear? And basically bank will earn a commission in all these things. Clear? Bank will all earn commission in all these things. If we are assuming that if there is a 10 lakh, clear, if there is a 10 lakh rupees bank guarantee, then bank will earn at least 70 to 80,000. Clear? 70 to 80,000 for that. Clear? Basically, and this proportion is different for different banks. We are approximately taken here is like 70 to 80%. Clear? Basically, we can say that according to that, or we can also take that at least 1%. Clear? At least 1%. 1% is very less, but not that. Clear? 70 to 80K bank will earn of 10 lakh. Clear? But it depends. Like for banks, it is to 40 to 50K, and for it is 70 to 80K, depends upon the banks. Clear? Next one is letter of credit. Clear? Letter of credit is basically used by basically when we are to international trade. Clear? In this, basically, as we have already discussed in detail, letter of credit. Clear? Basically, this is also the product or service. Bank will earn basically from the commission. In this also, basically, bank will earn from the commission. Clear? Bank on the behalf of the borrower or on behalf of the buyer will issue the letter of credit, and bank will also take something from the buyer as a security purpose. Clear? From the buyer as a security purpose, because if the buyer is not able to pay the bill on time, then the bank will have to pay. Clear? Then bank will have to pay. Clear? So that's why bank will take something as a security. Clear? Next one is co-acceptance of bills. Clear? Co-acceptance of bills. What is the meaning of that? Clear? We have not discussed till now. I think basically it means that it is an undertaking. Clear? It is an undertaking. It is an undertaking by the bank. Clear? It is undertaking by the bank to make payment. Clear? It is an undertaking by the bank to make payment to the drawer. Clear? To make payment to the drawer of the bill. Clear? To make payment to the drawer of the bill on due date. Clear? On due date, even if the on the due date, even if the buyer or importer. Clear? It is an undertaking by the bank to make payment to the drawer of the bill. Clear? To make payment to the drawer of the bill on the due date, even if the buyer or importer, even if the buyer or importer fails to make the payment on due date. Clear? Fails to make the payment. Fails to make the payment on due date. Clear? Fails to make the payment on due date. So basically, in that case, that is basically co-acceptance of bills. Clear? Basically, it is an undertaking that bank will pay to the drawer of the bill on due date when if the importer or buyer makes to make the payment on the due date. Clear? That is basically known as co-acceptance of bills. Clear? So till now we have covered this point, and then the next session we have covered this topic. Most probably will in the next class we will discuss stages in new development product cycle. Clear? We have to cover only one topic, stages in new development product cycle and product management. Clear? We have covered that topic in our next session, and will provide you 30 to 40 questions. Clear? After the completion of the chapter. Clear? So that you are able to practice all the questions. Clear? And basically, while practicing question, you are able to understand basically what question they will ask. Will provide you also some previous year questions also. Clear? For better understanding. Clear? So thanks to all of you for attending this session.